It's the dawn of a new college football season, and here in Atlanta, fans of the Clemson Tigers and Georgia Bulldogs could not be more eager and excited to get this 2024 campaign underway. And welcome everybody to the Aflac kickoff game from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. The roof closed on a hot and humid day in the capital of Georgia. Clemson and Georgia in the 66th meeting in a great rivalry that dates back to 1897. These two programs have combined to win 4 of the last 8 national championships, 2 each. Sean McDonough and Greg McElroy, joined shortly by Molly McGrath. Delighted to have you with us. What a great way to start this week 1 of the college football season as they start a new season. Greg, the Georgia Bulldogs just trying to keep it rolling. 42-2 in the last 3 seasons, 2 national championships, then #1 most of last year. Clemson, after 6 straight years in the playoff, 3 years out, they're trying to bring back the mojo.
Well, when you have as many losses as national championships, it's a pretty good job, right? But you look at Georgia, they have everything you could want to compete again this year. They have great talent, they have great depth, and they have experience at key positions like quarterback and along the offensive line. Now on the other side, Clemson, once the top program in the sport, according to many, tales of their demise are greatly exaggerated. I mean, they played more snaps by true freshmen last year than anyone in the country, and according right now to the odds makers in the desert, they're the favorites in the ACC, which would lead them back into the college football playoff and with a first-round bye. So still a lot there left in the tank for Dabo Swinney.
And the biggest reason why Georgia enters the season #1 for the 2nd year in a row, Carson Beck, a Heisman Trophy frontrunner, had a terrific first season as their starter last year.
He's amazing, just a terrific thrower, big, physical, great arm talent, but he's so accurate. And you see that 6% off-target rate. That's the best in the country. And it's not like he was just dinking and dunking his way around the field. He averaged nearly 10 yards an attempt. So he's pushing the ball down the field and can exploit any void that you might have in your defense.
Meanwhile, Clemson won 9 games last year. At most places, that's really good, but not when you won 10 games or more 12 years in a row prior to that. Cade Klubnik was up and down. Dabo Swinney says if they're going to get back among the elite, he needs to cut down on mistakes.
And they're really optimistic about his growth this offseason. He's more comfortable in year 2 in Garrett Riley's offense. He's more physically mature. He's gained a bunch of weight, up to 210 pounds. But he can't make the mental mistakes he made last year. Way too many sacks, way too many turnovers, and way too careless with the football at times.
Clemson won the toss and elected to receive the opening kickoff. Phil Maffa is back deep. And he'll be a very important part of this game. When they had success the second half of last season, they pounded the run game, led by the powerful Maffa. Peyton Woodring kicks off, and it'll be a touchback. So here comes Clemson on offense, led by Cade Klubnik. They think they'll be better in the receiving corps with some players returning to health who were injured last year. Short pass and an inaccurate one. They fake to Maffa. There's a flag down. Jake Brenning's stool at 50 catches last year. It's an ACC officiating crew.
Illegal motion. Offense number 8 moving forward at the snap. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's Tyler Brown, the motion man. And Brenningstool dropped the pass. Incomplete pass. They're showing blitz. Looked like Williams was offside. There is a flag down. Klubnik gets blasted at the end of the run after some nifty footwork to get to the 25. He got hit hard by Damon Wilson. It looked like Georgia was offside.
Offside. Defense number 13. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Michael Williams, one of the many talented players on the Dog D.
And it looks like Clemson went with a bit of a hard count. In an environment like this, you can use your snap count to your advantage. He takes a big shot at the end by Damon Wilson. Gets ahead on the football, but last year, Klubnik, now a much stronger player.
On 3rd and 10. The check down to Maffa, and a good tackle in the open field by K.J. Bolden, a true freshman. Program, 24-year-old from Tampa. Nose up, spiral line drive punt. Returned by Anthony Evans off a magnificent first year as the starter last year. Flips it ahead to Arian Smith.
In and out of the doghouse last year with some inconsistency with his hands. Here, he's so athletic and dynamic with the ball in his hands, and he's always a threat to take off.
Dominic Lovett, the motion man. And a nice tackle by DeMonte Capehart in the middle of that defensive front. They're without Trevor Etienne, the transfer from Florida, who's likely to be their featured back. He is not playing today, suspended for a violation of university policy. He is dressed. Beck sends it out wide. Arian Smith again, and another good tackle. This one by Jaden Lucas, the cornerback. Beck given time, now running out of it behind a veteran offensive line. He takes off running, has the first down, and stumbles down at the Clemson 43-yard line.
This is an aspect of Carson Beck's game that's very underrated. If you get too aggressive in your pass rush, he can hurt you with his legs. Doesn't like anything downfield. He has one-on-one against Wade Woodaz in the middle. He makes a miss and picks up the needed yardage.
13-yard gain. No score, 4.5 minutes in. Out wide it comes to Dylan Bell. 2nd and 8. Branson Robinson driven back. Beck to the sideline, incomplete. Field goal to beat Clemson from 60 yards away. Brett Thorson is the punter. And a beauty. It'll be downed inside the 5 by Arian Smith, and then reeled off 5 wins in a row. Flag thrown on first down from the Clemson 5. Phil Moffa, the ball carrier.
Holding offense number 53. That penalty's declined. Defense will take the result of the play. 2nd down.
Brian Linthicum is the center for the veteran offensive line. Kirby Smart elected to take the play in a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8. Moffa outside, powerful running, and he might have the first down. Dragged down by Raylan Wilson. 6 games he averaged more than 20 touches per game. They just went to the ground game and did a lot of this on 3rd and inches. That started the winning streak. Here he comes again to the outside.
To the defense last season, trying to improve it this year.
After a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Cade Klubnik will throw it away. Looking everywhere but couldn't find anybody open. Championship. 3rd down and 7. Warren Brinson has come off the field. Diving catch made, and a good one, but short of the first down. So Aiden Swanson to punt again. Averaged 43.7 last year, 5th best in a season in Georgia history. And Bill O'Brien. 5.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Branson Robinson, the ball carrier. Robinson remains the running back. The pass out wide, and another good open field tackle. Beck has Cash Jones on his left hip. They had a 3-receiver bunch to the right, and another good tackle to prevent a first down was Jaden Lucas, pardon me.
And you're going to see number 3, TJ Parker, loop around inside. Really well timed with the stunt. He gets a free run right at Carson Beck and delivers a big shot to force the ball out of Beck's hands quickly and allow his defender to.
Antonio Williams back. There was not a single punt returned against Georgia last year. Thorson punted 32 times, and Athens even closer. Play fake by Cade Klubnik. They have 23 yards of offense so far. Deep throw and a catch. A beautiful catch by Antonio Williams on a beautifully thrown ball by Cade Klubnik.
What a throw by Cade Klubnik. A good win against the top cover corner of Georgia, Dalen Everett. If I'm Clemson, I'm hustling so they don't take a look at it.
36-yard gain to the 49-yard line.
Moving on the field is a completed catch for a first down. That play is under further review.
By Remus Kozica in the replay booth, along with Patrick McEnany.
Just perfect ball placement over the top by Cade Klubnik. As Williams is going to the ground,
I think that's a catch.
looks like he has control. Is that foot down? As soon as he gains control, looks like that right foot down, that right knee is down. And remember, it's called a completion on the field. Has to be indisputable video evidence beyond all doubt to overturn. Did the nose of the football hit as he's going to the ground? Let's take a look here. And it looks like it does, but does he have control? It's really difficult to tell.
Well, let's bring in our rules expert. We're delighted. Well, we'll let Michael Roach have his say.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. The first down for Clemson.
I think we all agree. Matt?
Head control. I think it's a good stance.
And remember, if they had indisputable video evidence to confirm that.
Williams' injury plague last year, got in only 5 games. Dabo Swinney says we are better around Klubnik this year, in part. Phil Maffa back in at running back. Play fake to him. And in the flat, it's Brenningstool, the tight end, driven back immediately by Smile Munden. Clemson's 1 for 3 on 3rd down. Play fake, Klubnik on target. Antonio Williams has a first down.
Illegal formation on the offense. More than 4 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Dabo Swinney furious, and that's another big-time avoidable mental mistake up at the top of the screen. Doesn't look like he's on the line of scrimmage. You see Brenningstool's off, Stellato in the slot off, but doesn't look like Adam Randall ever got all the way up the line, which is a massive mistake after the conversion.
Wipes out a first down. Now they're facing 3rd and 14. Little bubble screen, and Antonio Williams will have no chance. He's been around so long. He got his degree in marketing December of 2022. Hits at the 10 and goes into the end zone. And it is reminiscent of that 2021 opener between these two. Beck's now 6 out of 7. But they've all been short gainers. Some running. As Adam Randall was called for both penalties in the first quarter against Clemson. More of a monologue from Coach Swinney. Nate Frazier in at running back. Highly touted freshman after an off-season arrest. Carson Beck on first down. Out to the perimeter. And quickly closing was Jaden Lucas. He becomes active. Dominic Lovett down the sideline and shoved out of bounds by Wade Woodaz.
And just a great job. Clemson has been selling out against the run, so just go with a bit of an extended handoff. It's no different really than a triple option. You see guys disappear inside.
8 out of 9 passing, but for just 44 yards. Here's Cash Jones. Swung down, but close to another first down.
Here on 2nd and 1. If I'm Mike Bobo, I'm thinking shot play. Likely have 3rd down and 1 in the bag. Take a shot.
Clemson has called a timeout for the first time today. The Tiger defense on its heels.
I take one downfield.
2nd and 1. Catch made by Colby Young. Factor here, he's been battling a little bit of a hamstring injury in camp.
Just a good decision by Carson Beck. You see soft coverage by Avion.
First quarter of the season opener was 2021 in that game against Clemson. The 10-3 Georgia win. The only touch came as primarily a safety. Now the middle linebacker. Ben Urosic looked like he flinched.
False start on the offense. Number 84. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Departure the great Brock Bowers. On target, it's Dylan Bell breaking 1 tackle. He has a first down inside the 15-yard line. Kylan Griffin prevented a touchdown. It's good for 23.
And this is well covered by Terrell, but the timing that Carson Beck releases this ball with is impossible to defend. That ball's out of his hand before Bell makes his in-breaking cut, and he's so strong after the catch. Bell, they moved him to running back last year because he...
Branson Robinson, the running back now, and 1st and 10 from the 14. Fake to Robinson, and the slant is too high. Bills
very, very scrappy, and he got in there a little bit early. You see that left arm grabbing.
Beck had completed 8 in a row. They're showing blitz. Beck in trouble and sacked. Peter Woods, the sophomore from Alabama, the Birmingham area, freshman All-American last season.
And they get some twists up here, and you'll see Woods just fill in as there's some disruption caused up front. Beck doesn't like anything initially. Woods slides up inside, working against Monroe Freeling, the sophomore, and drags Beck down to force the field goal. Excellent and relentless pursuit there by Woods.
Here's Peyton Woodring, the sophomore, with a terrific freshman year. Made 21 out of 25. This is a 30-yard attempt. Carson Beck is the holder. You don't often these days see the starting quarterback doing the holding, but in the 20s and 30s they were in the same conference, in the Southern Conference. Woodring's kickoff, hampered by a couple of key offensive penalties, still scoreless. The toss to Maffa, and that Georgia defense to college football. A couple of shots of coaches here. The fake to Maffa, and then they throw it to him, and there's an example of a decision. Move the conversation forward. You were paying attention at our seminar in Bristol. After a 5-yard loss, Clemson with 3rd down and 12. Klubnik on target, and Williams is banged out of bounds short of the 1st down.
Certainly go with a hard count here, see if you can't get Georgia to jump off sides.
They rushed for only 16 yards. Will they try to draw him offside, or will they really snap it? They turn and call a timeout. Dabo Sweeney hollering at Klubnik.
I think it took them a little while to decide, all right, hey, let's at least try it. I think they tried to get their hard count operation to get out there and see if you can't get Georgia jump off sides. It worked in success a little earlier when Michael Williams jumped into the neutral zone. So they tried it, but they just didn't give it enough of a sell. They didn't give it enough time at the line of scrimmage to really make Georgia think about it.
Swanson punts. It takes a bad bounce for Clemson. And it's Lawson lucky. To go in the half. 3-0 Georgia. Robinson in trouble. And stopped behind the line. The initial contact by Peter Woods, who back for the Dogs. He goes out into the flat, back down the middle, and off the arm of his intended receiver, Dominic Lovett, who in coverage.
Just a little off the mark, too. If this ball is thrown in front of Dominic Lovett, in-man coverage, he's already got a couple steps on Avion Terrell.
They're 1 out of 4 on 3rd down. They're not in field goal range. Here's Cash Jones, tripped up. Beck is the holder. And that one is good. Kirby might want to rethink the 35-yard line. Base.
Perfect snap, perfect hold, and it flirted with that left upright the whole way, and just ever so slightly, like your drive does inside the left edge of the fairway, it cuts right back to the middle, and it squeaks inside for a really nice kick there from Woodring.
He became a legend that day. Kevin tells the story. On Monday, he went to class. He got a standing ovation when he inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. Maffa powers ahead.
Going to have to work on it at halftime.
Klubnik throwing it deep, looking for Cole Turner. Didn't see the ball coming.
Man, Cole Turner had a step. I see exactly what Cade Klubnik was looking at. I mean, Cole Turner's behind the defender, Julian Humphrey, and it got a chance to hold the red line and throw it 50, 60 yards downfield for a potential touchdown, but Turner gave up on it and never really tracked the football.
Turner played in only 2 games last year. He's the fastest player on the offense. Another reason why they think they'll be better on offense. They haven't been better today. Randall's the target, and it's broken up. by Julian Humphrey. Flag down at the end of the play.
After further discussion, there is no foul for defensive pass interference on the play. Incomplete pass and a fourth down.
And I like this no call, actually, because you see the left hand of Adam Randall actually trying to push off as well, but that's a bad throw there by Cade Klubnik. Randall's got 2-3 yards of separation. You have to throw that ball to the outside. Anything underthrown is going to allow the defender to recover, so you got to get that ball up and down. You got to keep him vertical, and big play was wiped out there.
Dabo Sweeney complaining to the side judge, Milton Britton, who had absolutely nothing to do with it. 4th down and 3. And here comes the 5th punt. That's Palatial Estate is nodding his head in agreement with you. Swanson again caught on the run by Anthony Evans. And he's taken down immediately. Was a big miss. 3:13 to go in the half. All 3 timeouts left for the Dogs. Here's Nate Frazier.
They're going to contribute those safeties to the run game.
There will be a 2-minute timeout. That's new in college football this year. Nice run for first down by the freshman Frazier.
And a couple pullers on the backside here. When you look at Frazier, right behind him, just cuts. Big number 8, Trey Williams, couldn't find the running back. He cuts right behind him for a nice gain.
Pretty nifty vision. There's a flag down for an offside, probably a free play, and Beck let it fly in the direction of Arian Smith. A hard
Offside defense number 55 in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty, be first down. That's the 2-minute timeout.
Peyton Page offside. And no question about it. Much more productive quarterback. He's thrown for 126 to 54 for Klubnik. He's running, throws, and a man wide open on a broken play. Dylan Bell, there is a flag down. There are 2 flags down back near the line of scrimmage.
Pass interference, offense number 11. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Arian Smith. So both teams with some key penalties on offense by wide receivers.
And Arian Smith, kind of in no man's land, tries to block, probably thinks for a second that Carson Beck's going to take off, so he engages and starts to block before the ball is released, and that's going to be off.
Nate Frazier, the running back again. Stopped. Ticking down near a minute to go in the half. Carson Beck flushed. Flag thrown as he throws a wobbler that's incomplete.
Holding offense number 73. Penalties decline. Defense will take the result of the play. Third down.
Xavier Truss, one of the 4 starters, back on the offensive line from last year.
And it's so difficult on the tackles. You're engaged with a great edge rusher in TJ Parker. Your quarterback leaves the pocket. You just have that hand that holds on just a little bit too long to the outside.
For 35 yards for Georgia, all of them on the offense. Branson Robinson. You wonder, is there ever going to be an offensive touchdown when these 2 teams play? Last time in 2021 in the opener, it was a 10-3 Georgia win on a Chris Smith pick 6.
It'll be a 30-second timeout. Please just set the game clock to 11 seconds.
10-3 Georgia win.
Thank you.
Steve Shaw now leading the national officiating group. So Thorson, who jokes about his lack of usage, a little busier than usual today, and that one bounds into the end zone. So Klubnik will take a knee. Despite only 77 yards of offense, Clemson very much in the game. Welcome back to the Aflac kickoff game from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Number 1 Georgia leading number 14 Clemson at the half, 6-0. Sean McDonough and Greg McElroy. It has to be a very disappointing first half for Dabo Sweeney, the offensive coaching staff. They were expecting a lot more than this. What do they need to do to get some offense?
Well, right now, George is basically saying you're not running it on us. That's the only way we think you can beat us. So what they're going to have to do is they're not going to abandon the run. You can't do that completely, but they got to start taking some shots. I mean, there were a couple times in which Clemson receivers were behind the defenders, and this is a relatively inexperienced secondary, so I'm not really sure when it's going to happen, but at some point, Garrett Riley's got to say, Cade, we got to throw the ball vertical, we got to throw it downfield, because you're not going to be able to nickel and dime your way down the field against a defense that's this talented.
George will get the ball first. Anthony Evans is back deep for the kickoff. Robert Gunn kicks off for the first time this season. And it's a touchback. He has a cannon for a leg. Ordinarily, he's a deep down the field thrower. Arian Smith got it to him on the first play of the game. Is using the communication right into the helmet of Carson Beck. There's a nice call. Well executed. Smith again. First down inside the Clemson 40. Jaden Lucas stopped it from being even longer, 33 yards.
And a play really similar that we just saw a second ago where they dumped it in the flat to Dominic Lovett. This time, they get Arian Smith on the wheel.
Long count by Beck. Going for the end zone. Incomplete. A lot of hand fighting, and they'll let it go without a flag. Dominic Lovett and R.J. Mickens.
Oh, man, that was a good job by R.J. Mickens. You see that left hand, though, grabbing the jersey. He looks inside and tries to make a play on the ball as the progressive pylon cam gives you a great look at the PBU. But, man, that was very close.
Dylan Bell down the sideline and out of bounds near the 5. By Mike Bobo.
And just using their speed, their advantage, trying to play on the perimeter. I think they thought originally, hey, we can probably go downhill against this Clemson team. They're not huge up front defensively. They found that.
Nate Frazier stacked up after a 2-yard gain. They do. And it is caught for a touchdown. He beat Jaden Lucas in coverage.
You could see it from a mile away. Lucas lined off and inside. That's absolute giveaway for the back shoulder fade. It's perfectly thrown by Carson Beck. He throws Young away from the defender. And it's an easy pitch and catch. A guy that really majored.
They're going for 2. Go for Dos. Brought to you by Dos Equis. Beck with a flag to stop the play.
False start. Offense number 6. 5-yard penalty. Replay the try.
You still. And Woodring's kick is good. There. Beer and gummies. There is a touchback off. Riley could use some Tums gummy bites right now. Their stomachs have to be churning. They had Suttles Ward in 2022 for his work as the offensive coordinator at TCU. Branded high temperatures in Atlanta this week. Play fake by Klubnik. And they're ready for that quick pop to the wide receiver, Cole Turner. The average to go 8 yards. Hard to convert when you have that much distance. Klubnik, schoolyard play, and it worked.
But it took him long enough. If you watch Brenningstool on the left side, he's on a shallow cross, and he's wide open, and he just keeps running. It's zone coverage. He's got to sit that down and make it easier on his quarterback, but he bails him out with an incredible one-handed catch. Just going up and reeling it in. Very, very impressive by the tight end who became such a huge weapon for them last season. And to make things even sweeter for the Tiger offense, they're going to tack on an unsportsmanlike roughing the passer that has them knocking on the door of the red zone.
For the roughing the passer. Maffa. Stopped at the 32-yard line. The coverage at the bottom of your screen. Klubnik to the far side of the field. Nice move by Antonio Williams. It's another Clemson first down at the 22.
And that's not an easy throw. I know it's only 5 or 6 yards downfield, but all the way from the right hash to the left, it's a tough throw.
Maffa inside the 20. First trip to the red zone today. Nice fake by Klubnik. Brennan Stools open. He lowered his head and came up a little bit short of the first down yard. By far the best drive for Clemson at the half.
Previous plays under further review for potential targeting.
While we were away, Mike Roach, the referee, announced after review, no targeting against KJ Bolden. That's huge. They were down 13-0, almost midway through the third quarter. Maffa. First down, a powerful run.
Great job by the right guard and the center of this Clemson offensive line, Ryan Linthicum and Walker Parks. It's great to have Walker Parks back, just engaged for a really long time against Christian Miller, and Maffa runs right inside of him for the third down conversion.
First and goal from the 7. Maffa got one. Raylan Wilson there. And with Maffa, the running back, a fake to the motion man, and Georgia not fooled. Michael Williams was right there, and
Colin Sadler in for the previously injured Marcus Tate, going against one of the best defensive linemen in the country. Just can't quite pin him out. It looked like Klubnik slipped a little bit too as he tried to cut to the inside, but man, that's a tough act.
They bring it. Klubnik throws it for the corner. There's a flag down. It falls incomplete. Intended for Antonio Williams with Dan Jackson running in coverage.
Personal foul, legal block below the waist. Offense, number 7. The penalties decline. It'll be fourth down.
That block was on Michael Williams.
You'll see Maffa working right across to Michael Williams, who's going to slide inside. He goes low below the waist. Michael getting up now under his own power, and this has been an adjustment the last couple of years. If you're going to block below the waist, it has to be inside the tackle box, it has to be straight ahead. So to come at an angle is illegal, and that's what the official did there. So Maffa came across his body.
Here's their new kicker, true freshman, Nolan Hooser, who kicked 66 field goals in high school in Cornelius, North Carolina. Little different kicking in front of 71,000 on national TV in the opener. Yeah, a great win for Georgia Tech, obviously, in Dublin against Florida State. Syracuse about to begin the Fran Brown era former this weekend. Play fake by Beck, and all alone in the flat. Nate Frazier bust on defense for Clemson.
Most of this game has been number 0 Barrett Carter and Wade Woodaz at linebacker. Well, Kobe McLeod comes in to give Woodaz a little bit of a break, and he busts on the first snap. Does not find Frazier in man coverage out of the backfield.
Faked it to Frazier. Goes for the tight end, Delp, and it was very well covered on the Clemson sideline. He's from Athens, Georgia, playing against his hometown university today in a game that means a lot to him.
Very disciplined play, too. Eyes in the back the entire way. Barnes has such great instincts. That's a tough ask to cover a guy that you're giving up 6-7 inches in length to, and a lot of weight as well, as Dylan Bell being helped off. One of the most versatile weapons on this offense. Not a good sight there.
5:41 to go, third quarter. Georgia up by 10. Frazier has it go off his hands. Forward pass, an incomplete pass on third down a year ago. Beck fires on target. London Humphreys, his first catch as a Georgia Bulldog. First down.
And a great throw here by Carson Beck. Eyes vertical the whole way. You can see Khalil Barnes, number 7, over pursuing just a little bit. He throws it right behind him, and a terrific catch by Humphreys.
One of 11 they brought in out of the transfer portal. Beck pulls it down and runs for what looks to be a first down. 10, they're at the 18. Frazier breaks a tackle and gets knocked down on the second try. We're told it's just cramps for Dylan Bell. That's good news. Even though the roof is closed, it is warm inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Nifty moves. Love it. Down to the goal line. Touchdown, and Georgia has found its groove on opening day.
And when you watch Lovett in Missouri a couple of years ago, this is what he was. He's so good after the catch.
They come to the line quickly after the 13-yard gain. Frazier into the end zone. 20-3 lead for the Dogs, to the dismay of the Tiger faithful.
And just a great job washing down by the left side of the offensive line. And you got to give some love to number 7, Lawson Lucky, who kicks out Wade Woodaz to allow the seam for Frazier to run right through it. Phil
Maffa, no chance to return that one. It's out of the back of the end zone. Here's Molly McGrath. Here's Maffa. Knocking down would-be tacklers. 17 seconds to go. It was 21-10 Kentucky going to the fourth quarter of that one. 42 players drafted out of Georgia in the last 4 years. Klubnik kept it. And he gets stopped short of the line in the game.
And just the right side, the defender, number 5, Braylon Wilson, completely blows it up. Cade Klubnik somehow rescues it, gives himself a chance, but that play had no shot from the beginning. It looked like Brittingstool and company were not really in position to try to knock guys off the point of attack.
A minute to go in the third quarter. All of a sudden, your defense can't get stops. Swanson punts again. Short, nose up, spiral. Fair catch made by Anthony Evans for Georgia. Beck 20 out of 27 for 225. And that's through the hands of Nate Frazier. Mike Bobo said he would use it very sparingly. Maybe occasional reminder tacked onto a play about the down and distance. On third down, the Dogs. The blitz from deep didn't get there. The pass is incomplete.
Correctable, very fixable errors.
And Thorson, in the last 2 years, his single season punt totals have been the 2 lowest since 1948. Runners running down there, great speed, are there to pressure the receiver. Tyler Brown.
And play the next moment.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
On target, Klubnik. They were 5th in scoring defense, and that's really what it's all about. On third down and short, Maffa has the first down. Nazir Stackhouse, their nose in the middle of that front 3 down for Georgia. Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl and the national championship game will be here. Klubnik in trouble. Looked like he was down before he threw it away.
15-yard line. It'll be second down.
Klubnik just too slow to react as Walker was coming around the side. Let's see. Looked like the left knee was down before he released it, and there it is. Ball clearly still in the hand. Left knee down, and a good call by the official.
First Georgia sack. It goes to Walker, junior from Salisbury, North Carolina. They think is going to have a huge season. Klubnik high throw through the hands of Cole Turner. Down to 2. Lots of confusion on the offense. They finally snap it, and Klubnik runs into the rush. And 35 total yards of offense. Aiden Swanson, a good punt, sending Anthony Evans back inside the 35. Might be a tired punt coverage unit.
An efficient second half from the Georgia offense.
Quick pass from Beck to Arian Smith, and he gets dropped after a 2-yard gain. Branson Robinson in at running back. They faked it to him. Beck on target, first down.
Past you, so you know you have to give it a ton of respect, like Jaden Lucas does. He's 12, 15 yards deep, and then boom, he slams on the brakes.
Today is Beck after a terrific career by Cedric Van Pran. Jaron Wilson is the only new starter. I thought it was Pran, drafted by Buffalo in the 5th round in the last draft. Here's some pressure. Beck gets it off, and it's incomplete.
It's a great supporting cast, but he's been very solid today.
Stands in, gets it off. London Humphreys down the sideline and into the end zone. Well, he's only caught 2 today, but they've both been big. A 23-yarder earlier, and this is a 40-yard touchdown.
And Humphreys on the shallow cross uses the umpire as a little bit of a pick right there.
He crosses space, and there's nobody out the back door. Humphreys, the transfer from Vanderbilt, unbelievable top-end speed, and once he gets into the open field, it's going to be really hard to track down, and big play again from Georgia, showcase.
Portal much because they recruit so well, but they did bring in 11 players. It's back for the Peyton Woodring kickoff. It's another touchback. Here's Kevin. We said something very interesting when Kevin threw it back to us for the first time. Hit the editing room floor. Cade Klubnik on target. All right, Molly, thank you. Klubnik lets it go deep, and it is intercepted by the All-American Malachi Starks. It's the first turnover of the game for either team. And it comes in the building where Starks made an impressive debut against Oregon 2 years ago.
That is absolutely ridiculous by Malachi Starks. I mean, he played it just like a wide receiver, and yet he's in coverage. Eyes back to the inside immediately. Stays in phase with the wide receiver. Times his jump perfectly and rolls and high points that ball before securing it en route to the ground. Just an absolutely ridiculous interception from the All-American.
To the year, had surgery in the offseason. Here's Nate Frazier. Nate Frazier. What a debut. All the way to the Clemson 38-yard line.
Comparing him to DeAndre Swift, we're kidding. I mean, he moves like him even. Just put a number 7 on that jersey. You might feel like he's the exact same guy. Very shifty, but you see the acceleration too. I mean, guys, 10-5, 100-meter dash guy, track guy that plays with great.
66 yards rushing now on 9 carries for Frazier, the leading rusher in the game by far for either team.
Georgia takes its first time out of the game.
Stifled Clemson all day long, and now the offense is picking it up. And Nate Frazier adding to his terrific college debut. I think I've seen enough of Frazier to believe he has more. And right on cue, announcer Jinx, he has more.
This guy has just got a different level of juice. I mean, you see him, and when he moves, he's moving faster or quicker than just about everybody else.
Too fast for his own good.
Yes,
there.
the turf monster did get him there.
Down goes Frazier. It took a long time to get that cliche in. Knocked himself out. Here's Branson Robinson down to the 15, and now some tempers flaring. Carson Beck went under center. Jones bounces it outside, delivers a stiff arm, stumbled toward the pylon. Touchdown.
Progressive pylon cam. Does he stay in bounds?
Yes.
Looks like he does. Again, and colliding with the pylon right there.
Yeah. From that angle, it looked questionable, but from the down the line one that we saw, it was inbounds. There was a little green in between. I like that.
Progressive pylon.
We love our sponsors. Can't do enough for them.
The best.
Black Duck. A lot of great things being done in the name of charity associated to college football. Phil Maffa, around outside their program, their fan base, the slide of the program. Here's a quick pop to Antonio Williams. They did the last 3 years. Only 8 different programs were in it the last 3 years. To his point, out of 134. But to his,
and you're going to have a couple valleys as well, because the portal can be used as kind of a band-aid to a possible vulnerability. If you have a problem or a hole at safety, a hole at teams, there's a lot to play for, but when you're playing freshmen, you're going to have a lot of ups and downs, and that's what this team's experienced the last couple of years.
Klubnik hit as he throws it deep, and it's broken up. Nice play. Good recovery to the football by Ja'Cory Thomas.
Opportunity downfield here. He had Tyler Brown for a minute and just couldn't quite get it out there in time, but he took a big shot as he was releasing the football by Damon Wilson.
the country, a team that's great on defense year after year after year. And several will be draft picks again. That's up for grabs for Cole Turner, and all kinds of flags fly. We mentioned Connecticut and IMG Academy in Florida.
Defense, number 1. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
5-star recruit, and many recruiting services had him rated the #1 overall recruit at any position in the country. And he's at Georgia.
Yeah, and just a clear pass interference on the underthrown deep ball. He's going to have a very bright future there.
Class for Kirby Smart, 20 ESPN top 300 recruits. Klubnik throws it out to T.J. Moore, a headliner in their Clemson recruiting classes. Here's Phil Maffa. I understand to get back to the transfer portal thing. They come in here, we work with them to make them better and help them achieve. They care about them as men and as college students. I understand it, but it seems to me at least it could be.
I understand they've always put a high premium on culture, dating all the way back. Dating all the way back to you just don't have the depth if you don't have some veteran experience that you can get out of the portal.
7th play of this drive for Clemson. There's Olsen, Pat, Henry, part of their
starts are from portal players. Just a little bit, just so you don't become a freshman in the event of an injury.
And a nice play behind the line of scrimmage. He showed up. Ladd McConkey, who was injured most of the year and was heading to the NFL draft, showed up and played. Flag down behind the line of scrimmage.
Holding offense number 71. That penalty's declined. Defense will take the result of the play, 4th down. There's also the 2-minute timeout.
Off the hands of Cole Turner and up in the air, an incomplete pass. State Capital One Labor Day kickoff. Gunnar Stockton is the new quarterback, taking over for Carson Beck. And Chauncey Bowens is the ball carrier.
This has not been a flawless performance by any stretch of the imagination. It's been really, really good. But there's so many things just little things have. I think that's going to be a low-scoring dogfight. And it might be the team that makes the fewest mistakes that ultimately wins it.
Very impressive opening win. 11 straight season openers won by Georgia, including all 9 now under Kirby Smart. And the angst will grow for the Clemson football program and Dabo Swinney as they get hammered 34-3. Georgia outscored them 28-3 in the second half.